For this painting, I wanted to challenge myself to try and turn scribbles into art with a theme. So I just did a few scribbles and lines and wanted to see if I could make the shapes into any elements that I could turn into a theme for the painting. So the first one that I saw I could make a circle out of. So I turned it into a planet and decided I'm gonna have kind of a space type theme for this one. So now I'm turning the other line into something that could be another part of that planet area and probably turn into a face, because I like giving just one more extra thing to look at that's kind of the center focal point. So I'm just kind of using that space and creating the face shape out of those first few lines. Continuing with that space theme, I turned one of the lines into a asteroid type thing. Then I wanted a little pathway from the planet that I'm gonna use as my kind of section where I put all the colors, like a little color blend. Sometimes I have a house or a different kind of shape within it that I use for that. So I like one area where it has all the colors in one. So now I'm just filling in the color of the planet. I'm gonna layer a few other colors onto it, but I like this kind of deep burgundy that I had blended. Then I wanna make sure that with the asteroid, both of them, there's two of them on it, that I'm gonna blend colors just so it's not plain gray. Then see how that looks with the texture that comes from that. I really liked how this deep blue was looking with that burgundy planet. So I'm just filling in that area and making sure the colors are going with each other. Then the rings of the planet, I want to have that kind of gold, yellow, brown, or then layer some colors on top of that one as well. In this top part of the painting, I wanted to have a little kind of painting landscape within it. So I'm gonna create more planets and a little skyline because I wanted to make the theme obvious. Sometimes when I pick a theme at the beginning, I only have one or two aspects of it and it kind of loses it. So I want to kind of have a lot of those space things within it and planets to make sure that the theme is consistent. So I wanted to blend that gray and blue together for the skyline and see how that looks. And I want to keep the buildings looking abstract too. I don't want to put in too many details. I want to kind of keep it flowing with that abstract style. Now I'm just continuing to mix those colors in the asteroid. I really like the way the different colors looked on the gray. So I'm just kind of going through when the paint is still wet in some of these areas and adding more texture and a few more colors on top, just so it's not one color only in a section. I saw another area where I could put in a face. So with that asteroid that's in the corner of the painting, I'm adding another shape that can be an eye. And I want to make sure for this one that I'm painting all the way through till the sides. So I'm kind of adding that part so it's, if you're looking at it from the side, you can see it as well. I find it makes the painting a lot easier to look at when you can see that it's fully done all the way. Now I'm getting to the point where there's not a ton of white space left, so I have to be a little more careful with the colors that I'm choosing to make sure that they're not clashing, and filling in the colors that look good together. So that face in the corner, I really like that brown, yellowy color because I find it mixes well with other ones when you layer them on top. So I'm doing that, and there's not a lot of other parts in the painting that have this color, so I like doing that for a larger part, and it's looking good so far. I like the theme that I have for this one, and now I'm just filling in extra details and colors to make sure that it gives enough to look at. I needed something for this burgundy area, so I like the way that the orange looked on it, and I just did a big kind of arrow. I decided to add on to that later, but for now I'm just adding this eye to this brown area and kind of creating that face and adding some direction with more of the colors on there. I'm just kind of going through and adding more colors throughout and making sure there's no blank areas and kind of seeing where I can do a little bit of blending. I'm trying to add a few more aspects to it, so I thought with this asteroid in the corner, I'm going to add some pieces breaking off of it, or then have the same blended color scheme within them as well. I think they would look too plain if I didn't continue that. So now I'm just going in and filling some of the planets up. I can't have any of them orange because of the skyline, so just adding some blues, or then continuing that blending and details so there's no plain areas. I thought it would look cool to make this one arrow into a kind of tree with arrows. So I'm going in and just adding that. Then I'm going to add a color over it as well, just so it doesn't get faded because it is on burgundy. So I thought that was kind of a nice thing to fill that space. and something just slightly different than what I usually do, with just arrows everywhere, but kind of create them in that tree branch style. When I was looking at the painting at this point, something was missing, and that little pop of white with these stars in the blue area is what it was missing. So I went in and did that, and right away it finally kind of came together, and I thought the white looked so good on the dark blue, and then added some little dots for stars, and I'm super happy with how that part turned out. And now I'm just going in and lining and making sure that all the dark lines are how they're supposed to be, and I find once I do the lining, all the elements pop out way more, and it becomes super satisfying to look at. So now I'm just wrapping it up, and I'm super happy with how this one turned out. I think the elements popped out nicely and the colors looked cool, and I think I did stick to the theme well. So let me know what kind of things you want to see in the next one, and thank you for watching.